Hey, welcome back to Trucks. You know, there's a lot of ways that you can bring attention to your truck. Fancy paint job, hot engine, loud pipes, drop suspension, drag blocks. Oh, there's a lot of stuff. But one of the most popular and controversial are flamethrowers. Now, a lot of you guys are writing in saying, how do you do it? So, today we're going to show you how to install them and hopefully not burn down the garage in the meantime. But the first question is, what the heck's a flamethrower? Well, basically, it's a way to throw flames out your pipes 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, sometimes even 20 feet. And people have been doing this since the 50s. But it's always been a little legendary, mythical sort of thing that very few people knew how to do right. And obviously, you don't want to do this wrong. So the guys at AutoLock decided to help out all the mere mortals and came out with a flamethrower kit. Now, this kit consists of just the wiring harness, but that's the most important part. You've got a relay, the control module, and of course an activation switch. Now, what you're going to have to add to this kit is a couple of spark plugs and a couple of coils if you want dual flames, and some way to mount those spark plugs into your exhaust pipe. And I'll talk more about that a little later on. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering, man, how does this work? Well, when you hit the switch, the flamethrower cuts off power to your engine coil. That allows raw gas to flow down through your engine into your exhaust pipe, where it's ignited by these spark plugs and these coils and blows flame out the back. Pretty simple. Now, a couple things here. Running raw fuel down through your engine is not the best thing for it. It can wash the oil off your cylinder walls and your piston rings, so you got to change your oil more often. Also, you can't do this on a vehicle with catalytic converters, so don't try it on Dad's new Cadillac. We are going to put it on this 48 Chevy hot rod truck that the owner is in the process of turning into a 50 style hot rod, so this is perfect for flamethrowers. First thing that you need to decide is where you're going to mount your wiring and your relays. Now, you can put it anywhere you want, but your best choices are either here on the firewall or up under the dash. Now, I'm going to put it on the firewall here because that gives me easy access to this coil wire. Once your holes are drilled, mount the components and then splice into the power wire that runs from the ignition to the coil. Inside the cab, it is time to decide where you're going to put this trigger switch. I'm going to mount ours right here beneath the dash so we've got easy access to it. At this point, all you have left to do is to run your wires, make your connections, and that takes care of this part of the project. See? Pretty simple. We're going to take a break, but after that, we're going to stick this thing up on the lift, get those spark plugs back in the exhaust pipes, and we're going to make some fire. Hey, welcome back to Trucks. We are in the process of showing you how to install the ultimate attention getter, the flamethrower. Yeah. Now, we're using a kit that we got from AutoLock. We already have all the wiring harness installed. Now it's time to deal with these exhaust pipes. First thing you need to do, decide what kind of plugs you're going to use and where you're going to mount them. Ideally, you want to use a plug that's got a long thread on it, so the electrode of the plug comes into the center of the pipe as much as possible. This gives you the best flame out the back. Now, where you mount this plug in the pipe is also very important. The further up here you go, well, the more your flame's going to be in the pipe, and that's not what you want. So I've found about 3 to 6 inches from the end is the best place. Now, to mount the plug, you got a couple choices here too. You can just drill a hole, weld on a nut, put the plug in the nut. The problem is the thickness of the nut. It doesn't allow the electrode to go into the center of the pipe. So, a better way to do it is to go out and buy a helicoil, which is just a threaded insert, and we'll mount that on the pipe. This is how to do it. Drill a hole in the pipe, thread the hole with the helicoil tool, screw in the threaded insert, and seat it with the flaring tool. Finally, screw in your plug. Now notice how deep this allows the plug to seat into the exhaust pipe. Next, you are ready for your coils. Now you can mount these pretty much anywhere you want, but you do want to keep them fairly close to your spark plugs and a long way away from the gas tank or vents. And put a whole nother meaning to flamethrower. Now we're going to put ours here on the inner fender, up out of the way. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering about these coils. Now these are just cheapies. I got these down at the local auto parts store, $9 each, and they will be perfect. With your coils in place, make your connections to the wiring harness up front, then run the wires out of the way, and then just hook up your plugs, and you're ready to roll. All right, this is it, the moment of truth. Are these things going to work, or is this just some sort of backyard voodoo? Well, to make these operate, you run your engine up to about 3,500, hit the button, and pump the gas. You think I'm kidding? Just watch this. All right, calm down, calm down. I told you that these were cool. Now comes the warnings. You knew there was going to be some warnings. These are not technically legal on any public highway. So if you think you're going to roast the local tailgater with these, well, that's tempting, but nah, don't do it. Also, you got to be careful with these. If you torch these things off in your driveway and burn down your neighbor's fence, well, you're on your own for that. These are best used at a show or a cruise, or a lot of shows have competitions with these things. The best part is, if you never put these on your rig, at least you know how to do it. And that puts you in that mythical, legendary category of the flamethrower.